Greetings, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council, and members of the public. This is Brenda Lopez, Interim Housing Director, and this item is regarding the policy, portfolio guidelines, and the investment delegation for the Housing Authority of the City of Oxnard. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, also referred to as HUD, has established requirements governing cash management and approved investment instruments for certain funds under the control of public housing agencies, also referred to as PHAs. The legislative body or board of the Housing Authority may invest surplus monies not required for the immediate necessities of the PHA. PHAs may only invest in instruments specified by HUD and by state law. The board may delegate its authority to invest for a one-year period under California Government Code, also referred to as CGC 53706. The Oxnard Housing Authorities, or OHA, fiscal year 24-25 investment policy, which includes the delegation of investment authority, was approved by the board on May 28, 2024. Per the fiscal year 24-25 investment policy, the policy is to be reviewed and adopted annually by the board. The requirement to review and adopt an investment policy annually was in alignment with CGC section 53646, which has since been amended, specifically in 2004, to eliminate this as a requirement. However, agencies are encouraged to continue taking the formally mandated actions. The investment policy governs investment of funds, which include funds on deposit. HUD defines these funds on deposit as 1, funds for current transactions, 2, capital or development funds, 3, funds exceeding daily requirements, and 4, operation reserve funds. Consistent with HUD regulations, CGC, the Housing Authorities Law, or California Health and Safety Code Section 342 ETC, and OHA Resolution 1308, the OHA investment policy includes a delegation of authority to the Housing Finance Officer, hereinafter referred as HFO. With this delegation, the HFO is authorized to invest surplus monies within the parameters of the OHA's investment policy and investment guidelines. The OHA has invested excess cash utilizing a combination of in-house efforts and an outside agent known as LAIF, LAIF, which is permitted by HUD and state law. The market value of the OHA's pooled investment fund as of May 31st, 2025 is $22,403,073.56, not including interest that has been earned from April 1st through May 31st, because the quarterly interest earned is not applied until mid-July of 2025. After review of the OHA's fiscal year 24-25 policy, as well as other jurisdictions' housing authority investment policies and various publications concerning this topic, staff proposes updates to both of the fiscal year 2025 investment policy and also the investment portfolio guidelines. The OHA's investment portfolio market usually has a value range between $20 million to $22 million at a given time. On average, the HFO transacts 3 times a year. The monthly and quarterly reports are available online at www.oxnard.gov/housing. Staff recommends the following revisions to the resolution and investment policy: updated references to all applicable CGC sections and added references to the most recent OHA resolution pertaining to the delegation of authority and investment duties. An update to Section 1, which updates the reference to all applicable CGC sections, in addition to the language pertaining to the delegation of authority that was moved to Section 5, delegation of authority, in the same document, and also language pertaining to reporting, which was moved to its Section 13.0, which is reporting. Section 2.0 was updated to remove language pertaining to funds because the OHA does not issue bonds. Section 3.1 was updated from prudent person to prudent investor. Section 5, 8, 8.8, and 10 were updated to reference the most recent CGC sections as applicable. Section 5 was also updated to reference the most recent CGC section, and we removed outdated HUD references and removed redundant language. Additionally, it added a reference to the investment guidelines, which are contained within Attachment B of the resolution document. Section 6 was revised to add the housing director. Section 7.1 was revised to clarify that brokers, dealers that the OHA chooses to conduct business with must be among the authorized institutions approved by the City of Oxnard. Section 11 and 11.1 was updated to align with the city's investment policies in regards to diversifying the investment portfolio in a manner that minimizes risk, which is still consistent with HUD regulations and CGC. Section 12 was updated to remove Section 12.1, which pertains to an investment review committee. The committee was originally established by the Oxnard Housing Authority when it had a larger investment portfolio and multiple transactions that were completed by the HFO. Due to the decrease in federal funding over the years, the surplus cash available has decreased considerably, and transactions are limited to around 3 transactions in a given year. Section 12.2 was renumbered to 12.1, and subsequently Section 12.3 was renumbered to Section 12.2. In addition, under Section 12.2, the language was added to clarify that the investment portfolio is part of the OHA's annual financial audit. Section 13 and Section 13.2, which is consistent with CGC 536-646B1, removed the requirement for quarterly reports. In addition to no longer being required by the CGC, the Housing Authority does not transact often and has a limited amount of funds to invest. Added language was given or provided regarding monthly transaction reports and clarified that the investment portfolio, again, is part of the Housing Authority's annual financial audit. Added Section 14.0, or also called as investment policy adoption, to incorporate the language that was originally located in Section 1, which is regarding investment policy adoption. As previously mentioned, staff also recommends a few revisions to the investment portfolio guidelines. These are Section 3.0 was revised to clarify that the board approves the investment policy and it is developed by the Housing Finance Officer, or HFO. Section 3.2 was revised to remove language regarding the use of a pre-formatted wire transfer because it is no longer applicable to online banking transactions. Section 4.1 added language regarding 5-year maximum maturities as prescribed under CGC 53601 and regarding the requirement of board approval for a permissible security that exceeds this maturity limitation. Section 4.2 was updated to reflect the most recent FDIC insurance maximums for time certificates of deposit. And lastly, Section 5.0 was updated as far as the workflow is concerned for investment transactions to reflect current Housing Authority procedures. Therefore, the recommendation is that the Finance and Governance Committee recommend that the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authority of the City of Oxnard adopt a resolution approving an investment policy and investment portfolio guidelines for the Housing Authority of the City of Oxnard and delegating investment authority to the Housing Finance Officer for fiscal year 2025 to 2026. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for your time.